Every Wednesday from now on, I will be reviewing one of Zack Snyder's, or sorry, not one of Zack Snyder's DC films. Basically, I'm just going to be reviewing all the ones that led up to Zack Snyder's Justice League. So I already reviewed Wonder Woman, so that's out of the question. I'm not reviewing Wonder Woman again. I need to review Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, Man of Steel, and um, Justice League, the original cut. I know people will say it's not a Zack Snyder film. It's not. He's not involved in it, and it's not canon anymore. Cool. We still got to discuss it because it is what led up to the Snyder cut, and it's what I have to talk about. So you know my thoughts before we talk about the Snyder cut, which comes out in March. Let's talk about Man of Steel. Actually, before we get into Man of Steel, let's get into my thoughts on Superman as a character, and my thoughts on Zack Snyder as a director. My thoughts on Superman is pretty simple. I love Superman. He's a great character. He's can be used for so many great stories. I know a lot of people don't like Superman nowadays, but that's just because people don't understand Superman. And this is the movie I blame for that reason. I also blame all the other Superman movies out there. You know, I love the old Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, but they're bad. Like, here's the way I put it. Superman the movie from 1979, the original Superman movie, is a great movie, but it's not a great Superman movie. It doesn't represent the character very well, but it's a really well made movie. Has a great score. It's super well made. The special effects are amazing for the time. It's a great movie. Not a great Superman movie though. And the kind of here's my thought of what Superman is. Superman is pretty simple. Well, this isn't even a thought. This is just what Superman is. Superman is a character that is an alien. He crash landed on Earth, but he's raised as Clark Kent, and then slowly discovers his powers. The part people forget is that he's Clark Kent before Superman. People are always like, no, that's his disguise. No, he's raised as Clark Kent. Superman is his alter ego. Most Superman stories do not focus on the fact that he's Superman throughout the majority of the story. And that's a big part of the Superman mythos. It is a big, big, big part of Superman. And I think you need to just... And it's so frustrating that people forget that. And that's what this movie does. It forgets that he's Clark Kent. No, he's just Superman. They compare him to Jesus in this movie. Superman is not Jesus. Because, yeah, Superman's perfect when it comes to his powers. But he's not perfect because he's a human. The idea of Jesus is that he's perfect. He's this perfect being that comes to save everybody. That's not what Superman is. Superman isn't perfect. He's a human. He doesn't know how to deal with relationships and other things that he has to deal with on Earth. That's the whole point of Superman. That's why I hate that writing trope with Superman where they compare him to Jesus. Look, isn't he cool? Isn't he like Jesus? Yeah, he kind of is. If you don't think about anything more than just the basic, oh, I looked at Superman and he's similar to him. Like, you just looked at him. It's like, okay, I put someone in a room and I say, look at this backstory of Superman. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. Look at Superman. And I put them in a room. I go, what character is he similar to? What biblical character? And then they just point out Jesus. That's what it's like, okay? It doesn't take much thought to put that together. And so it seems really smart, but it's not. And that's what I hate about this movie. Now let's talk about Zack Snyder as a director. Zack Snyder as a director is a bad director. Now, that doesn't mean all of his films are bad. I think 300 is actually a really good movie. I think Owls of Gahul or whatever, that movie with the owls, that was a pretty decent movie. He's made some pretty good pretty decent to good movies. He has never made a great movie though, and you know, he had come off Watchmen, um, and Watchmen is a bad movie. I know there are a lot of people like Watchmen, and sure, there's some good parts about that movie for sure. But compared to the comic, it's worthless because you cannot translate Watchmen, like the giant squid at the end of this Watchmen story and all that stuff, into a film. And the other part of it is Zack Snyder didn't understand Watchmen. He had stated that the only reason he really liked Watchmen is because of the sex and the violence within that story. Okay, that's the only reason he likes that story, and he's not into normal comics. So comics like Superman. So what Zack Snyder does in this movie is he tries to mold Superman into what he thinks is cool. He thinks it's cool that Superman's this aggressive character that's similar to Jesus, who doesn't care about anybody. He thinks that's cool. He thinks that's cool. Well, that's not Superman. And you shouldn't be allowing someone. I don't understand, why people defend this movie so much. If you enjoy the movie, I'm not saying that's like a horrible thing, but this movie is not a good movie. I don't blame Zack Snyder for everything in this movie. I don't blame him for the ending, which is just a bunch of terrible explosions and nonsense. Because a lot of that came down to the fact that, when Superman Returns came out, which was the previous Superman movie, everyone complained that there was too little action. And so this movie, they cranked up the action. They forced Zack Snyder to put that in there. And I know he got a lot of backlash for it. So he tried to deal with it in Batman vs. Superman, but the way he went about it was just terrible. And we'll get to that when we talk about that movie. But this movie is fantastic. Cinematography-wise at times. There's some really great shots. The score by Hans Zimmer is really good. But besides all that, this film is awful. It screws up the Superman mythos. It's a really boring movie. I would say it's too long, but this is the normal length most superhero movies go for. But it just, every scene goes on too long and needs to be cut down. Like, yes, it's normal length within the superhero genre, but that's not a good thing. A movie should only be the length that it needs to be. I think the Krypton stuff was ridiculous, needed to be cut down. I know people really have a problem with him snapping Zod's neck. I have a big problem with it because it's pretty simple. The reason he snapped his neck is because he's about to laser these people to death. But instead of so he's strong enough to snap his neck, but he refuses just to point his face upwards towards the sky because he could shoot lasers into the sky, right? That he's not killing anybody if he's doing that, right? I guess it's just like, I hate that. I hate the idea of Superman, this hopeful, strong character, not really doing more to prevent this, and it's just a ridiculous movie. I know people like this movie, and if you like the movie, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? I'm just saying that, like, stop pretending this is a good Superman adaptation. It's not. It's horrible. I think fans want to restore the Snyderverse. The reason I don't want it back is because movies like this just show Zack Snyder never understood the characters and never wanted to make a Batman movie or a Superman movie. He wanted to make his version of Batman and Superman. And that's clearly not what people wanted to see. They didn't want to see Zack's version of Batman and Superman. They actually wanted to see Batman and Superman. Because that's what people want to see when they see, their comic book characters. I mean, when I watch a Marvel movie, I don't see, oh, that's James Gunn's version of Guardians of the Galaxy, not the Guardians of the Galaxy. No, I just see the Guardians of the Galaxy because there's a clear understanding of the characters and what needed to be changed and what needed to stay the same and how to adapt them in a way that works. And this clearly had none of that. 1 out of 10.